everybody, my name is Magdeline and I'm a software engineer at Run. Today, my talk is going to be about building a tech career in public, even if you're an introvert. Share what you love and the people who love the same things will find you. This is a quote from the book Show Your Work by Austin Kleon, and to me, it perfectly captures the idea of building in public. The idea is simple. Instead of waiting until something is perfect, you share what you're learning, building, or exploring along the way. So today, I want to talk to you about why sharing your work in progress is the most underrated career move you can make and how to get started. My story goes back to when I was studying computer science and entrepreneurship at the University of Otago. I chose that combination because I wanted to build the future. I had dreams of having my own tech startup someday. And despite the low gender ratio of females in tech, I could see a future for myself in this field because I saw other women in tech sharing their journeys online. One example is Hello Mayuko. She is a Japanese-American software engineer. She made videos about a day in her life as a software engineer, her journey as a woman in tech, and career advice. As an impressionable 18-year-old, hearing from someone who was just a few steps ahead of me in life was incredibly powerful. It made this career path feel real. So, in my final year of university, I decided to share my journey too. Back then, I didn't see anyone from New Zealand making this sort of content, much less an Asian female from a small little town called Dunedin. This then transitioned into sharing about my life as a software engineer when I began my career. Along the way, this act of putting myself out there, regardless of how scary it is for me as an introvert, introduced a world of opportunities to me. I got to collaborate with other tech creators and brands. I had the honor of speaking at events, and I also got the chance to meet many other talented people in tech, some of which I've gotten the chance to meet up with in real life, like Pat and Rachel. Pat shares creative coding projects on YouTube and has now founded her own community of creative coders called Spark. She creates tech projects that are interactive, creative, and that just spark joy. Rachel documented her journey as a self-taught UI/UX designer after having tried 10 different odd jobs before, and she makes tutorials about design, solopreneurship, and beyond. This is a fun project she made recently featuring nostalgic Malaysian snacks, and fun fact, I'm also Malaysian. There are so many others who are sharing what they're creating, whether that be projection mapping, wearable tech, electronics, 3D, interactive tech, vibe coding and design. And seeing these people who share their work and journey inspires me and also introduces me to realms of tech I didn't even know existed. So now I'm trying to learn Touch Designer and 3D too so I can make cool projects like these. And have you noticed they're all females? I don't know if it's my algorithm sharing these creators to me, but I'm loving the representation. So in essence, building in public via content creation introduced me to cool people in tech, expanded how I think about my career, and created opportunities I never planned for. So why should you build a tech career in public, especially if you have a full-time job? I think there are three main benefits. First of all, you get to build your personal brand. Your work becomes a living portfolio of your ideas, projects, and interests. It's something that belongs to you, not tied to a single company or job. In this tech industry that's constantly changing and where instability is rife, that independence can be incredibly valuable. You never know when you may lose your job. This personal brand that you build over the years is something that cannot be taken away from you. But a personal brand isn't about locking yourself into one identity. As we progress through life, through our career, it's normal for us to change and evolve in our career journey. Building a personal brand simply creates a trail of your interests and ideas as they evolve, and is one of the biggest assets you can build for yourself in today's digital age. And then you get to find your people. When you start putting yourself and your work out there, you attract people who resonate with it. As an introvert, that's great because you don't even need to actively network. That could lead to unexpected opportunities like collaboration ideas, business opportunities, creative partnerships, or even your future co-founder. But even beyond that, there's huge value in having a community of people who are as passionate as you are about the things that you love. And lastly, you get to inspire others. You never know who is looking through your stuff. Every video you post, article you write, or talk you give is like planting a seed. Someone out there is where you were 2 years ago. Your story might be the thing that inspires them or keeps them going. But before getting into how to start, let's talk mindset. The most common fear that people have when creating content or building in public is this. What will people think of me? Will my friends and family judge me? How would work react? Am I being cringe? And in New Zealand, we also have the tall poppy syndrome, where if you dare to stand out, have dreams, and put yourself out there, you may face the possibility of being judged and cut down. In fact, I remember when I was interviewing the founder of a startup for a video, he told me that we don't really do this sort of self-promotion in New Zealand. We just let our work speak for itself. But I think this is where we get it wrong, because it's not about us. It's about the impact that we leave on other people who stumble upon our work. If there were no females making a day in the life of a software engineer videos back then, I may not have seen myself as one, and I may not be here today, because representation matters. Now, what if you're an introvert? May I know how many of you are introverts here? Nice. The funny thing is that building in public can actually work very well for introverts. You can take the time to thoughtfully create your work and have it pass through multiple rounds of iterations before releasing it into the wild. A lot of the work that goes into content creation, like writing, filming, and editing, is done by yourself in your own time. Unless you reach the stage of hiring a team and making a whole business out of it, but that's another story. The content that you create essentially acts as a serendipity vehicle for like-minded people to reach out to you, rather than you having to actively network. Again, inbound networking. Another common fear is, I'm not an expert. Well, guess what? You don't have to be one. You just need to be willing to share where you're at right now. There are plenty of people documenting their beginner learning journeys, and to me, this is more inspirational than watching someone with years of experience because it is more relatable. It shows me that I can achieve this too. Everyone has their own unique story, and you do not need to be an expert. Now that you've done all the mindset work, it's time to actually start. So first, you have to choose your format. These days, there are so many ways to create content. The most common one right now is to make short form videos, but that might not be for everyone and might not be the best for your attention span. If you love writing, you can start a Substack, a newsletter, or a personal blog. If you love talking, you can start a podcast. If you love visuals, you can make a video or carousels. Either way, these are all just avenues to share your work. Then you just have to start. You're all here today attending this event. Maybe you could post about CodeCamp and what you learned, because there's bound to be people who wanted to go but didn't get the opportunity to. You can also share about what you're learning, what you're building, your journey, and your resources you find useful. And once you start, keep the momentum going. Creating content is like a muscle. The only way to become stronger is to keep doing it. As you keep showing up, your audience will grow too. It's a long-term game. In my 5-year journey of creating content, I have started and stopped multiple times, and when I don't show up, I can really see the effect it makes on my engagement and viewership. But I try to not let that get to me too much. Even today, at over 21,000 subscribers, which is not a big number and also not a small number, I'm not the most consistent YouTuber. But I'm still standing here today sharing about this topic because I want to show you that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be the best. You don't have to be the smartest in the room. You just need to be willing to start. And over time, those seeds that you plant can connect you with people, ideas, and opportunities you never expected. So I'll leave you with the quote I started with. Share what you love, and the people who love the same things will find you. Thank you.